tomorrow will be 4 weeks on T for me. I think I might have done this last time, not actually done it on the right day. Probably going to be way too busy tomorrow because I've got my blood test in the morning, I'm at work in the evening, we've got to go shopping because we've got no food. What's the... Fate seems to want me to do the video today because I just went to work and got sent home because it's a bank holiday. So tomorrow is my 4 weeks on T. I doubt anything will happen overnight, although things do seem to happen overnight, which is a bit weird. 2 days ago, both me and my girlfriend noticed that I had more stubbly stuff coming in through on my top lip, and it wasn't there one day and then it was there the next day, and then I sort of shaved it off. I'm trying not to shave, just buzz it off with a buzzy thing, one of these things. I bought this for myself the day I started T as a sort of congratulations, you started T present. My logic is that I won't notice if things are growing in if I completely shave them off with a razor, but I don't like untidy facial hair. It really annoys me. It's if you're gonna have facial hair, then it has to be neat. So I'm hoping that I can have it both ways if I use this and just trim it down to this length. It probably won't work and I'll probably get annoyed with it because I'm used to being really smooth and shaving off peach fuzz and stuff, but we'll see how it goes. I've got a bit more hair coming in there. You probably won't actually be able to see it even if I try and shave it. It's definitely there, you can feel it as well. And then we noticed that there's 4 hairs that have grown in just here, and you could only see them in certain lights, but they're definitely there. Definitely weren't there before. It was really odd. So I sort of looked in the mirror, I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, and you can probably tell that I'm getting spots. I sort of started last week. Yeah, it was literally 3 weeks on T. I started getting spots and really greasy. My girlfriend wouldn't touch me because I was so greasy until I went and had a wash, which is fantastic. That's the one thing I was a bit concerned about starting T, because I have a habit of picking at my spots on my face. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there's been a chunk missing out of my eyebrow since November last year, where I had a spot behind it, under my hairs, and the hairs came out while I was picking at the spot, and yeah, it's a stress thing. I'm trying not to turn my face into a mangled scab, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. Other things, it's general body hair again. It's a bit more above my stomach. I'm kind of possibly getting a bit on my chest, which is a bit weird. Obviously, because there's still extra flesh. My voice again, probably, I think it might have changed a bit. It's it's really hard to tell with your own voice because obviously you hear it every day. And I just find myself cringing at it less than I used to, and feeling a bit more confident in talking to people. Generally, I just feel a bit more confident. At work, I just have a laugh and a joke without thinking about it. And occasionally, I'm still putting off saying stuff because I don't want to break the silence and speak. I always feel that part of a conversation, people are going to focus on my voice less. But then if it's all quiet and I suddenly say something, then people notice it more. There was one time, there was a guy at the far end of the room, didn't know me or anything, don't know who he was. He was trying to get into a door, and I shouted over, you might just have to push it really hard, or something like that, because I'd been in that door before and it was a pain in the arse. And there was me and this woman who works with us, and he looked down and looked towards the woman after hearing my voice, obviously thinking it was her saying it, and then when he just got a completely blank look from her, he realised that it was actually me who said it. Yeah, that memory always comes to mind when I about to start speaking, which is a pain in the arse because I need to actually speak to people. Other than the voice, not much has really changed. I'm possibly getting slightly more irritated at little things which are you know, it's a bit ridiculous, really. It's like getting irritated at people like chewing and stuff. I know it's like an actual thing to be irritated at people chewing, but I never had this problem before. It just seemed more productive than I used to be as well, although you wouldn't be able to tell it looking at the state of this room. Doing stuff like where I wouldn't have done before. Like, I actually want to do stuff I wouldn't have done before. Overall, I just seem a bit better at being a human being than I was. Yeah, that's probably about it. I could show you close-ups of bits of, but I'll go on then. Okay, so again, this is another awkward, dodgy close-up of my leg. Yeah, basically it just looks like there's hair coming up higher than it used to. It's quite hard to tell. I can tell better on my other leg because I have like a scar here that it never used to come up to. Yeah, there definitely seems to be like more hair just generally around. It's a bit bright in here actually. Oh, there's more there. Okay, so that's like really impossible to see, but there is more hair on my thigh, like here, than I think there used to be. Yeah, that's definitely more hair there actually. Yeah, you really can't tell. Yeah, I'm like getting really awkward with my legs out now. Yeah, there's definitely more hair like on my legs that I didn't even realise before I did this, so I'm really glad that I'm making videos because I literally didn't realise that there was hair on my thighs. And my hands are like a bit veinier, but you know, it's hard to tell with the sun, or not the sun, the heat, or whether it is like actually veinier, but they do seem to come out and play a bit more often, which is nice. My hair is now coming up to here, where it used to come up to like here, and along my arm it's kind of coming in a bit. It's still really fine, but you can like see that it's there. It does seem like there is more hair generally all over, which is nice. I like hair. Hair is good. I'll stop dicking around and showing you random bits of my body which may or may not have more hair than they used to. I'm sure you really don't care that much. That's pretty much it, just hair and possibly voice. Other things like hunger and libido haven't really changed. It's pretty much just hair. And like not to the point that I categorically know if there is more or not, apart from like here, and possibly my arm a little bit more. It's really hard to tell. Oh, my stomach. And I haven't shown you my stomach today because I just feel a bit awkward about it. Yeah, I might like show people again, but not today. If like there's anything specific you want me to talk about or whatever, then I will do, so I don't ramble as much as I do now. Tomorrow I have a blood test which is for, God, I've got to say it now, hematocrit and prolactin. The prolactin's a repeat because my levels were a bit dodgy the first time. The hematocrit is what the Laurels ask you to do after 4 weeks to check your, I think it's red blood cell. Yeah, the red blood cells. Taking tea can cause something called polycythemia. I'm not very good at pronouncing all these things. I know what I'm on about, but I'm not very good at saying them. It's an excess of red blood cells in your blood. They like to keep an eye on your levels just to make sure that there's nothing developing which shouldn't be. So tomorrow I have the blood test. 2 weeks time I've got my next tea shot. And the weather is nice, and I have a bank holiday off, which is about the first time ever. So that is that.